So we're going to find ways to use determinants and stuff that maybe we already know how to do, but just this would be other ways of finding the area of a triangle. Do you know how to find the area of a triangle? Half base times height, but what if the base and the height, what if you don't know the height of the triangle? Because the height has to be 90 degrees with the base. Like, what if it's a weird scaling triangle and it's harder to find the height? Because this is 3 ordered pairs. So here's another way of finding the base or the area of a triangle using matrices. You look at the formula, and it is plus minus, area equals plus minus half, so there's that half. And then we make a, what's it called when there's bars? Determinant. We're going to do a determinant, so that's directions. It's not a matrix. It looks like a matrix, but it's going to be the determinant of that matrix. And the x1, y1 would be the first ordered pair, x2, y2, second ordered pair, x3, y3. And then we put all ones in the third column, so it's a square. So you already know or should already know the area of a triangle is half base times height, so you should know that this has a half in it. You should also know that we use all 3 ordered pairs and that the last column is 1 for memorization. What? Which second? We do, because in order to do the determinant, it has to be a square matrix. It has to be a 3 by 3 or a 2 by 2. And since we have 3 ordered pairs, we need those ones. So we're going to do plus minus half. Determinant, 1, 0, 6, 5, 4, negative 2, 1, 1, 1. And then how do we do the determinant? Move those columns over, right? And then we cross multiply up. So we'll get 5 plus 0 plus negative 12, and then we cross multiply the other direction and subtract minus 20, minus negative 2, minus 0. Then around that, we will have plus minus half. So if I'm doing this by hand, I'm probably going to add all the positives and then add all the negatives and then subtract them. So I'm adding all my positives, I have a 7. Adding all my negatives, I get minus 32. So we get plus minus 1/2 of what number? Negative 25. So the area of this triangle is either positive half times negative 25, or it's negative half times negative 25. So when we have plus minus, we have 2 scenarios, right? So if I do this one right here, I get negative 12.5, and if I do this one, I get positive 12.5. When I think about this, this is area. Do both of these answers make sense? Kind of negative area, so we can just reject this one and say 12.5 units squared is the area. So on the area of a triangle, you didn't even have to graph it. You ready to go on? Turn it over. If you got any questions, let me know. Okay, now we are going to write the equation of a line that passes through 2 points. In chapter 1, which will be on your exam next week, by the way, those of you who are asking yesterday, exams are next week. When we had 2 points and we went to find the equation of a line, what did we have to find? We had to find slope, and we used slope, and we used what? Point slope formula, and you plugged it in, and you had to distribute, and you had to solve it and make it look like standard form. This is a different way of doing the exact same thing, but using matrices. So when you look at the formula, what do the bars mean? Determinant. When you see x and y, that means x and y. When you see x1, y1, that means the ordered pair. When you see x2, y2, that means the ordered pair. So we start out with just x, y, then our ordered pairs, and then the last column, 1, 1, 1, equals 0. So we'll set it up. Oops, I already messed up. X, y, 2, 4, negative 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, and then equals 0, but I'm leaving some space because we're going to have to do the determinant. So I'll copy my columns. I will do the determinant. And then bring down the equal 0. Combine like terms. We get x minus 3y plus 10 equals 0. And it says write it in standard form. Didn't have to find the slope, didn't have to distribute anything, just find the determinant. Pretty nice. In the back of the book, if you were to check your answers for this assignment, I've given you all odd questions this time, so if you were to go to the back of the book, check your assignment. The back of the book puts standard form like this. This is the only book I've ever taught out of that has put standard form like that. Every other time I've taught it, it looks like this. So this is how I still expect your answer to look for standard form. Don't just write the way the book does it because it was in the back of the book. If you have questions, just ask. Okay. Last example. Last example is testing for collinear points. So I've given you 3 points. How do we know if they are collinear? What does collinear mean? On the same line. So instead of me graphing them and finding the slope between them and making sure they all have the same slope and are on the same line, we just do the determinant, and if it equals 0, they are on the same line. So this one's a lot like the finding the equation of a line, only this time we have 3 ordered pairs. The top one, we had 2 ordered pairs with the x and y in it. So this time we have 3 ordered pairs. Negative 3, negative 5, 6, 1, 10, 2, 1, 1, 1. Do the determinant. Bless you. Has to equal 0 if they are collinear. So I did my determinant. I'm going to combine my negatives and my positives and then add them together. I just think that's a little bit easier for me to do. So I'll have negative 63 plus 48. So I get negative 15, which does not equal 0. So what does that tell me? Not collinear.
Is that basically the same equation as this one, we just without the and then plus or minus?
No, it's like the same one as the one right above it. See how it says equals 0? Because they're both lines. It's just the first order pair is x, y on the one above it, and then that one has 3 ordered pairs. So those are kind of, that's what I'm thinking. Those are kind of things. All right, so your assignment. I do expect you to have a few questions, especially when you go and look at the back of the book and see the answer. And if your answer is different, you don't just change your answer on the paper, you come and ask. You have lots of time, you can probably finish it in class today. Plenty of time to ask questions and make sure you understand this. We'll review tomorrow, and then you'll have a quiz on Friday on it. On the whole, every matrix stuff, all the matrices stuff. Okay? So go ahead and get started. This will be up. Just got to stop the video.